Hi, and welcome to this guide on how to do damage. But we're not exactly going to talk about the rotation and not the spells either. We're going to talk about a macro that I use for the Disc Priest that helps me do damage in both raids and battlegrounds, and especially the arena. So the Disc Priest works in an interesting way where you do a lot of damage and it's part of your healing, but this does work for every single healer. It's just a macro that helps you with the targeting. Alright, so the Disc Priest, of course, has healing spells and damaging spells. You usually want to target your allies and heal them, and then do damage to an enemy target by sort of going away from healing, doing damage, and going back to healing, which is not a very smooth process, especially if you have to click, or if you have several target macros, target your party members, target your enemy members. I would recommend you to have this, especially in arena anyway, despite this macro, because there is like a 2% error that you might hit someone that you don't want to hit, but it's really useful for like 99% of the time, and we do think about the error when we write the macro. So what's the macro here? Well, I'll look it up for Smite here. Yeah, Smite is probably the best one. The other ones are a little bit messy, as you can see. But the Smite one here is quite simple, and this can work for every single spell. The other ones are messy because there are different spells in them based on my talent, so if I change talent I don't have to make a new macro. Alright, so the Smite one here starts with /target mouseover, then it goes to /focus harm target, and then it target exist harm. So focus your harm target or your target's target, and then cast add harm, or if you have a focus exists, or just cast Smite. So what does this mean? Well, let's look at it in game, because there's no one here to make me test it out. But first of all, the spell works completely fine just using it on a target. You can sit here, you can cast your Smite, you can cast your Schism. I have it for all of my damaging spells, and it works. Alright, so why is it special then? Well, because it actually focuses the target. So I start healing myself, I will target me or target a friend and start healing. And now I want to do damage to the target. Well, I don't need to target them. You can see I'm not targeted to the person. I just press my damaging spells because they're in the macro, and the macro uses focus. If I don't have a harm target, it will do it on the focus. That's why the macro is quite useful in most cases, because you can just get back to healing yourself, healing your teammates, and still have the target that you had before as your focus. But sometimes you don't have an enemy target in the first place that you want to focus. You are just healing people, and all of a sudden a new enemy shows up, you shift target, a boss ad comes up, and you just want to be able to help them immediately, but you don't want to stop the healing. Well then, you find a target, and let's cut here to a time where I've found a target so I can show you this. Alright, so here we are in Orgrimmar, and we see that this guy is training on a training dummy, and we see his target right here is the training dummy. So I'm gonna heal this guy, and I just want to make sure that he is just doing just splendidly. But oh shit, we're starting to do damage. He popped down the Skyfury totem. Obviously we're doing damage, and I'm just gonna press my damage spell, and it immediately focuses the target that he has targeted. And this is the biggest sort of source of error in this macro, that sometimes people will target someone to CC them. But in most arenas they don't do that, they just have focus macros or 1, 2, 3 macros, and they'll mostly only target the one that they want to kill. So if you know that, and your teammates know that, it's going to be almost foolproof. In battlegrounds it's going to help you a lot, because you're just going to be able to heal around, and all of a sudden you need to do damage, you get that Penance proc, get it out. And in raids especially, I know a lot of people target the boss and then mouse over all of their friends. Sometimes you want to move whilst healing someone, which you can't really do whilst mouse overing because you can't steer around. So being able to target your friends, target this guy and heal them and do damage is just a really useful way to play the, or a really smooth way to play the Disc Priest. That's the macro. copy it in, try it for yourself, see if it works for your damaging abilities, and have a nice day.